It sounds fun, it sounds, you know, impressive, but it's really just part of the journey to get the knowledge that you need to understand what you really want to do. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I've been working in the fitness industry for 40 plus years in various capacities. Todd mentioned I have a website called Body Sport. That's a fitness information website. And I also used to manage Gold's Gym and work in a health food store. But so I've always been involved in fitness, and I gravitated early towards the nutrition side of that and the supplement side of that. So I've been using probably what could be considered mega doses of supplements since I was about 19 years old. Mega doses is generally defined as like 10 times the RDA, and the RDA is ridiculously low anyway. So, you know, knowing what I know now, using those mega doses and knowing what I know about how potent some of those supplements are not in terms of activity as far as the manufacturing process, I was probably needed to take those mega doses just to get the amounts of actual benefit that I should be getting from those supplements. But I've been taking them for a while, and been an advocate from them. I remember debating with my nutrition instructors about whether or not you can get all of your nutrients from food, and I was of the opinion that not only could you not get the needed ones, but the optimum ones is just be really difficult, especially if you're an athlete and you're trying to go far beyond that. But that wasn't the current state of belief in terms of the medical industry and anything like that. But so a lot of what I had to learn, I learned on my own. I learned out of self-interest, and I learned as far as being involved in the industry and what works. And that was what led me to becoming a supplement nerd and doing that extra research. And one day a gentleman actually contacted me through my website, and mentioned Lifeplus to me. And I had never heard of the company, but I was definitely open to checking out the information. And so that's what I did. And I went on their website, and I really did a deep dive into what they were all about, mostly from a product standpoint, as far as the manufacturing and the care that they took, and the list of ingredients, and what was actually in everything, and why it was there, and how vetted it was before it got put into there. And I'd known enough from working in the industry to see how rare that was, and know how rare that was, and know how different and special that was, that this one company took all those steps to make sure that they brought out the best possible product. And so that intrigued me to try it. And the more I tried it, the more I liked it. And I ultimately, I've been using that for a couple of years. And when you have a lot of clients and you try to refer them to different products or different things for different reasons, you don't always feel comfortable sending them somewhere, because some of the things that even I use myself, they maybe have some extra ingredients in it, as far as for athletes that maybe a housewife just interested in general fitness wouldn't be needing or wanting. Or you'd send them to a health food store, and someone, would bait and switch what you sent them there for, and give them something that they're going to make more money on, or they believed in, or whatever. So via Lifeplus, it became a way to send someone to a place and a company that I really could trust, and really felt good about sending them, and really felt that it would be helpful for them. And the more products I tried, the more I liked them. The more products my clients tried, the more they liked them. And as time went on, I didn't need to use those mega doses anymore, because I was actually getting the actual ingredients that I should be getting at the right doses and the right potencies, and could actually take less and still get the benefits. So that's kind of a loose introduction of how I first became interested in Lifeplus and first started. And the business side of it, I'd been involved with some multi-level marketing companies before, and it was not a good fit, and it wasn't really me, and I didn't like recruiting people, and the philosophy behind this company of no pressure, and not having any startup fees, and not having to pay all these sign-up fees, and not, trying to recruit people to do something, but just inviting them and giving them information about it, that very much more fit along the lines of what I was interested in, and what felt right for me. And because I really believed in this, and I'm not a person that can endorse or recommend something that I don't like or believe in myself. And so that part was a good fit. And so that was my initial introduction to that. And that's my first quote unquote story. And over time, I've discovered that I actually have another story and I'll share some of that with you right now. And when you get to be, say, 40 years old, and you follow the fitness lifestyle for a while, and people are starting to notice, hey man, you don't look like the typical 40-year-old. And he's like, well, whatever, that's cute. It's just not that big of a deal. And when you get to be 50, that gap's a little bit bigger. And they say, okay, you're noticing it more and you feel good about it. And yeah, it's a good thing, but it's not that's not the first reason that you came in there. So you don't notice it that much. And I just turned 60 in May. And so now that gap gets to be bigger in terms of what that should typically look or feel like. And you think that's a good thing. And it is a good thing personally, but at the same time, it's not always a fun thing to see your friends and your family and your coworkers or acquaintances or anyone else in that same age group that's having a problem, that's discovering an issue that you don't have. And so it's you want to do something about that. You want to have a way to help and to benefit them. And I wrote this story on this article for my website called The Two Doors of Fitness. And basically what it is a story that I told about, think of fitness as a house, and you're walking by and there's like a party going on. You can hear the music coming out, and you look over there and there's all these beautiful people inside, and they look like they're having a great time, and they're waving you in. You're like, what, are you talking to me? So it's so enticing. And some people go into that front door. And once they get inside, they discover that it's definitely more than you imagine it would be looking from the outside. But there's a lot of people that look at that and say, maybe that's not for me, or I have something else to do, or they're not prioritizing themselves. They don't really know how important it is yet. And so they keep going, and maybe years pass, maybe decades pass, until they get to the point where they're like, something else happens, whether the doctor says, hey, your cholesterol level is sky high, or hey, your blood pressure is sky high, or maybe they had a stroke, or maybe they had an injury, or maybe they had some other kind of problem. And that needs to be addressed. And so they wind up at that same door of fitness, but they go through the back door, and there's no glamour, and there's no party, and they're there for a different reason. They're there more for health than for fitness. Once you get inside, it's the same place. And it's a place that you want to be in. It's a place that can help you in so many different ways. But the problem is, for a lot of people, if you haven't worked out your whole life, you're not going to just snap your fingers and start going to the gym 4 times a week. Or you're not going to snap your fingers and eat right, and you haven't done that for decades. So one of the best things and easiest things you can do is give your body the right nutrients. And the really easy way to do that is through Lifeplus and their core products. And it's as simple as taking certain products. And if you look at the priority of things that can really help someone, you have air, you have water, and you have nutrients. And nutrients are housed in foods, but the way foods are right now, it's hit or miss whether or not you can get the things that you need to get. Whereas now you can take those nutrients and give them to your body and really make a substantial difference in terms of your health and your fitness. And Lifeplus can easily make that transition for someone, and it's an important way to make that transition. And I've discovered recently through seeing some friends and some different things that instead of just standing at that front door waving people by, you have to go get them, because you know that if they don't come in now, that front door fitness, they're going to come back later to that back door when they've had a problem, they've had some kind of issue, and they've had some kind of thing that they would have been a lot better if they had started this sooner. And I liken it to, and whether you look at it in a religious standpoint or not, I liken it to something like Noah standing on the deck of the ark, and it finally starts to really, really rain, and he's looking out there thinking, man, I could have done more. I should have done more. I could have helped more people. You don't want to sit out there and see people drowning or struggling. He wants to sit out there and see thousands of arcs going along with him. And so that's kind of where I am now. My mission is to go and get some of the people that maybe want to walk by the door because they don't think it's for them. And no, you can't save everyone. No, you can't convince everyone to come along with you. But you don't want to miss out on the ones you can help by getting stuck on the ones that you can't help. And so I have a new project coming up called the 50 Plus Fit Club, which is basically a philosophy of redefining what aging should be through teaching people how to take care of themselves, whether they're 50 already and trying to get better, or whether they're just going to be approaching that. What are you going to be like when you're at that age? And giving them the information to help them, giving them the tools, giving them the motivation. And a big part of that is giving them, letting them know about Lifeplus. And again, it's an easy introduction for a lot of people to be able to take a lot better care of themselves. And hopefully that'll be a foundation for fitness for them in a lot of ways. And so that's kind of what my latest epiphany in terms of what I realized part of my mission is. And I had to go through all these other certifications and gold student managements and different things and aging that people wouldn't listen to me when I was 25 and I looked a certain way and did certain things. But now that I'm over 60 and I've lived through this stuff and I can really show them an example of the difference that can be made by following a certain lifestyle, by doing certain things, then that's a greater opportunity for me. And I want to take advantage of that. And I don't want to be standing on that deck of that ark, looking out and thinking I could have done more. I should have done more.
Kevin, you got me fired up, man.